I'm Meg.
And I'm Tev.
And it's Coffee
With
Meg
Meg
and
and
Tev. Boom. We are energized.
It feels
today.
good to be back.
Feels good to be back.
I've
feels
had
good to be back.
A lot of coffee, energy drinks, pre-workout. I'm ready to go.
I'm filled by the Spirit, honestly. My cup is full because of Jesus.
Cheesy. Today we're doing cheesy things that Christians say. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
John Christ, where you at? Is that how you say his last name?
John Christ?
Or is it John Christ?
It's not Christ.
Okay. He's
But
hilarious.
He is. But on a real note, we are so excited to be back with you guys.
I'm using a reusable straw. I just like to point that out.
Okay, all right.
I just
We're
cut you off.
We're excited to be back with you guys. We have an awesome topic picked out. I'm super excited about this because I have something super big going on in my life that's new. You have something super big going on in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And we're calling this title Life Changes.
Life changes.
Shout out to Thomas Rhett. And actually, we have a very special guest. Speaking of Thomas Rhett, I'm just kidding.
Thomas, come on out.
Maybe next time.
He had to go.
But we're going to be talking about life changes and different things going on in life, in our life.
Yes.
And yeah, so.
Tevin, why don't you start us off? What's changing in your life?
Oh my gosh. The last few weeks, kind of on a serious note, but also more lighthearted, really just took some time to let myself have some time off the road instead of traveling full time, going from place to place all the time. Took a couple weeks and just decided to take it, not a step away from things, but take a step back and say, hey, I need a couple weeks to just heal some of the things that I'm going through. Spend time taking care of myself, because that's one thing that I've struggled with, being on the road so much. I'll give, and sometimes I'll be left feeling empty, and I kind of hit this point. It's been pretty much 4 years on the road full time, and so just took the last couple weeks off. And during those last couple weeks, I started golfing.
That's all he talks about.
It's all I talk about. It's my life. It's
your passion.
My passion. It's God, family, and golf. GFG.
Oh.
God, family, golf. It's
My Lord.
Yeah, golf is life, but seriously, like it's been.
Guess he's going on the PGA Tour. Watch out, Tiger.
Seriously, watch out, Tiger. Some people call me Tiger Woods, actually.
Yeah.
No, more like a baby cub, like a tiger cub, but I'll take it. But just started golfing, and I'm really, really into it. I love it.
Well, I'm really glad you found your passion.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal, and I'm
still
really
feel
good
like
at
I'm gonna
it.
beat you
I
at
think it's
Topgolf.
something. No, you couldn't beat me before I started golfing.
No. There was one point where I was beating you.
Because you went first, and I hadn't hit yet.
No, false.
Okay, fair.
Fake news.
But yeah, like I'm really good at it, and it's been. I'm also very humble, and that's what we're going to talk about today, is how good I am at being humble. And so golfing, and it's kind of been a release for me of just kind of relaxing a little bit. Ever since my football career ended, it's really the first sport that I can feel like I'm actually competitive in without hurting myself and like risking losing my leg. And so
it's a little. I feel like it's fairly low risk sport.
Yeah.
I feel like your back, you could hurt your back in it. If you're
definitely,
doing it
I've
wrong.
had some back injuries from it already. Had to get a massage because of it, and so, but with my lighthearted couple weeks.
Life.
I guess the loafers.
You literally just talked about your golf career and your massages. Life is good
That's
for
one
Tevin.
massage that I got as a gift. Thank you. Okay.
Joking.
But on a more serious note, I know that you have something huge going on in your life that is super excited. I couldn't be more excited for it. So I know I can't even imagine how excited you are. Tell us what's going on in your life.
Y'all already know this. It might be news to some.
Maybe
it
to
may
some.
be news to some, but Jack and I are adopting. We're finally adopting. I'm over the moon. I feel like I get emotional talking about it. Jack and I are going to be definitely doing a video, like, kind of breaking it down, where we're at, what we're doing. We really have, like, prayed about this. I feel like as long as you've known us, we've talked about adoption.
Ever since I met you guys, it's been something on your
Yeah,
heart.
and I've known you guys, when I say I've known since I was, like, a little girl. When I was, like, 8 years old, I used to tell my mom I was going to adopt him. My mom would be like, okay. But she knew that that would eventually come to fruition, and God's timing could not be more perfect. And the coolest part is he revealed it to Jack and I separately without even talking about it. And then we definitely, like, just felt like the God gave us the go ahead. So we'll be getting a little man, and we feel like it'll be in the fall. We definitely feel like it'll be in 2019. However, adoption is one of those things that, like, you just don't know. Like, you don't know. There's no certainty in adoption, and, like, really taking that risk. But I feel like the Lord has called us out on this, like, step of faith. He's teaching me a lot in this short amount of time, and how to really, like, lean on Him through this process. And I was telling you earlier, and Vic and everybody, that I just feel like the Lord's teaching me how to really, like, allow Him to be my portion every day. Like, Jesus will give me exactly what I need, just enough. We're gonna make it through another day, and we're bringing everybody on the journey, which is really cool, because I know a lot of people want to adopt, but nobody really, like, where do you even start? There's so many different ways you can adopt. We are adopting privately. We are getting a newborn. So with adopting privately, there are a few more things that are certain that you do know, but there's still always the risk, and there's the financial side of it. And, you know, I've been matched with a little bit of, and when I say, like, a little bit, I mean a minor amount of backlash, but it's felt loud, because, you know, you guys, there could be thousands of people rooting you on and cheering for you, and it's hard in life not to kind of, like, get a pin view and just, like, really cling on to, like, the few negative things. It's hard, especially when it's such a personal, exciting thing. But Satan hates adoption, right? Like,
Yeah, it's one of the things that we're called to do, is take care of the orphans. And,
absolutely.
And I think it's just so amazing that you and Jack are taking that step. And gosh, I know how excited you are. I'm so excited to have a little nephew running around.
It's gonna be so fun.
Oh gosh, I'm just so excited. And
It's gonna be legit.
I think, like, you were telling me about, like, some of the backlash that you get, and it just breaks my heart, because I don't think that, like, I get to know you on a personal level. I get to know you and Jack and your family on a personal level. Some people, it's just through social media, and they just get to see, you know, what they want to see, or they think that they know
2%
you,
view of the
and they're
life.
like, well, she's just adopting to say that they adopted, you know, and, oh, like, look how good we are, or they just, you know, whatever. And that breaks my heart, because I know you guys, and I know your heart behind it ever since the day I met you. And when I met you guys, it wasn't like,
It wasn't where it's at now with social media.
with social media, like, and you have the same exact heart to bring somebody in and love them, and I know how big that's gonna be and impactful in that kid's life. And
I literally can't wait for him to make his debut on our channel, you guys. Like,
oh
God, his little face.
I'm
like,
already throwing out name ideas.
We've tossed around a couple of
I know.
names. What's your name, Tev?
I think Tevin is a great name. I'm
Tevin.
just kidding.
Tevin Jr.
Yeah, seriously, Tevin is a great name.
He's really good at
That's
you
really all I
guys.
got. I don't want to give away, like, my baby name ideas, because I'm selfish in that. And
Guys, Jack and I have thought of baby names. We're definitely gonna, like, kind of keep it low key until, I feel like people do that now. I don't think we're gonna, like, we'll announce the name as soon as we, like, know when he is coming home, or really when we have him and we're on our way home. That's when we'll, like, announce the name, just because, again, adoption is so uncertain. You guys, we could get there, we could get to the hospital, and the rug could be pulled out from underneath. Like, you just don't know. You don't know. So if you guys want to be praying, the number one thing, first and foremost, that I want you guys to be praying for is his birth mom. Like, as exciting as adoption is, and as much as I'm, like, giddy about it, I have felt since we signed papers, signed with the agency, it really got set in stone. Like, things got really real when we did that. Started getting everything together, started with the home study. Things got real, and then it dawned on me, like, there is a mom making a really hard decision, and making the best decision she knows how, showing her truest mama heart by saying, I know this is the best option, choosing life, choosing to give this child life, but choosing to give him up, my heart hurts for her. Like, it's been breaking. I think I've been so emotional, not even over like the process of adoption, but just knowing that there's still a mom giving up her child, and there's still going to be a part of her soul that's empty, because I am a mom already. I've had 3 babies. I was a teen mom. So I know that feeling of kind of questioning, can I do this? Is this something I can do? Had I not had the incredible support system that I had when I was 17 years old, got pregnant when I was 17, had Sophie when I was 18, had I not been given that, I would have been met with the same option of giving up Sophia, which, praise the Lord, he like knew the plans that he had for her. But I firmly believe that he knows the plans that he has for our little guy. And so just be praying for his mom, like, that she just feels an overwhelming sense of like peace and worth, that she's valuable and that she's loved, and pray for an open adoption. I know that sounds kind of crazy and like what? Just be praying that we can have a relationship with his biological mom. I think naturally when you go and you think about adoption, you think like, oh, that would be bad. Like, oh, that like open adoption. Like, I don't think that's a good idea. That's not healthy. When in all actuality, I've talked to a lot of people, sought a lot of counsel, people who have adopted, and my heart is to have an open adoption. Now, if that's not what God's plan is, that's totally fine. But I feel like the Lord's kind of been trying to prepare my heart for that, because there's nothing more that I would love than, outside of the fact that we're able to give our son a different life and put his life on a different trajectory because of what the Lord's blessed us with, to be able to have the potential of ministering to her and having a soul enter into eternity. That is so much bigger than anything like that's here on this earth. So to have that opportunity would be beautiful. Again, we don't know. There's just so much that we don't know. Pray for our family, just that our hearts are prepared for whatever comes, whatever may happen, and that it goes as smoothly as the Lord wants it, and that our hearts are protected, specifically mine, just from backlash. And it's funny, we're going to be talking about this next week. But I am learning more and more every single day about myself, and that the Lord really is teaching me, Meg, your identity is not getting wrapped up in likes or who is for it or who is, because if that were the case, I would take my likes and again, I'd say, I got the majority says, they're excited, so I'm going with that, and I'm going to find my identity there. But I love people, and I feel like the Lord's really given me a heart to love people. And when I feel like somebody's hurting and they're taking it out on me, like, I get sick. Like, I literally went a couple days where I couldn't eat because I was just so sick over the fact that it caused a lot of self-reflection. Did I portray this image? Did I, Satan causes a lot of doubt and confusion. And so just pray that my heart's guarded from all that I can just stay the course, not get distracted, focus on the cross first and foremost, and then our son second.
Yeah, definitely. And that's something that I'm going to be praying for, is that mom, especially on that day, but even right now.
Right now,
she's going through that thought process of,
and she's maybe not even made the decision yet.
Exactly. And so just pray for that mom's heart, and then pray for that baby of knowing that, and maybe that mom's like, I made a huge mistake, and how did this happen to me? And she's going through all this and just so disheartened right now, praying for her heart to understand that even though you made a mistake, God is using that mistake and turning it into something beautiful.
Yeah.
No kid, no human that comes into this world is a mistake.
Never.
God from the get-go has a plan for that child.
Yeah.
And I think praying for the mom to understand that, but also the son, as your son grows and gets older and is was I just a mistake? Was I my mom didn't want me? That child would know that for the plans that God had for him from the very beginning.
From the beginning.
That he was called to be brought up in your family, that he was called to live this different lifestyle, that he was called to be who he is.
And that, an adoption, the greatest picture of what Jesus did. We are adopted into the family of Christ. How beautiful is that?
Yeah.
His story is simply an earthly view of what God's love has done for us. It's just a picture of it, and it's not because Jack and I are some heroic people. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. What we're not doing is it's not heroic. It's just an obedience to what God has called us to do.
Yeah.
So we're not the heroes here. Ultimately Jesus is, and we want God to be glorified in all this. And I just keep thinking, there's been a couple things that the Lord's called us to do that I've been like, what? Like changing from fostering to private adoption. I mean, when I first told Tevin about this, we were fostering. Like that was my plan, Meg's plan. We're gonna foster to adopt. It's gonna be great. Might take a little longer. Might not get a baby. And the Lord was like, no. And he used other people to tell me that, like just straight up, like God told me to tell you this. And it was one of those things where I was like, whoa, like we need to pray about this. And we did. And even coming down to like fundraising, I feel like God's like, there's something I want to birth out of this. Like there is something, there's a plan or a vision or, you know, an organization. There's something I want to come from this. Because initially my plan wasn't exactly to fundraise. I mean, I thought we'd give the option if somebody was like, I really want to give. But to actually have a fundraising plan was not in my plan.
Yeah.
And that's probably where I've gotten the most backlash, because Jack and I, we are blessed. But it's one of those things when God calls you to do something, you just have to listen to it and humble yourself and just say like, I remember like literally sitting down and like having this like audible conversation with God. Like, you know that people are going to disagree with this. Like, you know that every move I make is going to be put under a microscope. Like, you know. And he's like, yeah, that's why I'm calling you to, Meg. Like, I know. And Jack and I do have this heart, and now I've got this like burning fire in me to raise as much as possible, because God has made it very clear there's another family who needs it.
Yeah.
And we have full intentions and plans and excitement to give any abundance to another family adopting, and that might not have a social media platform, that might not have a village rallying around them, but they need it. Yeah. So knowing that is really like the heart behind it and the thought behind it, and is exciting, but it's also scary, because it's like, God, I'm like really putting myself out here right now, and I don't want anybody to like come at me. And he's like, no, they will come at you. Like, be prepared for it. But like, and to go back to the social media thing, and I feel like I'm going to be really chatty this video just because it's such a huge thing, and I haven't really talked about it on video yet, just like in post, is this mom, right? So this mom, wherever she may be right now, somewhere in the United States of America, dealing with something very heavy, like dealing with a decision that she's just wrestling with back and forth, and her not even knowing that through us sharing our journey with everybody, through us talking about it on social media, people know what adoption is. Like, there's not something that we need to like campaign and raise this huge awareness about adoption, right? Like, people know what adoption is. They know that it's an option. But she doesn't even realize that what she's doing and choosing life for her baby and making this hard decision to entrust him to our care, she doesn't realize the amount of other like lives that she could be touching by people watching our story saying, you know what, I think I want to adopt. Or, you know what, like, this has inspired me, or this has encouraged me. I've gotten hundreds of messages from people just saying, this has encouraged me because you said XYZ. Well, because it's come from a place where we're talking about adoption. So she doesn't even realize that, like, she is changing thousands of lives and she can't even see it. Like, she doesn't even know it yet. And that's why I think I so desperately want that relationship with her, so I can just be like, girlfriend, like, you're not a failure. Like, God is using this in ways that you can never see. Yeah. And I mean, that's just true for all of our lives. You might not have thousands of people following you on social media. You might live in a town with like one stoplight. But when you are a believer, you hold influence, period. People are watching you. You are carrying the name of Jesus on your back. And so you don't even realize what little things that you could be doing that people are watching that you might not know they're watching. And you're changing their life. And it might not be something that you see on this side of eternity, but just to know, it gives you different perspective on life. And it really teaches you to kind of change your mindset on like, oh, like 2 people are mad, or like more people that I can't even see that are maybe not be saying it, might be thinking something. Yeah. But then there could be just one that's like, what you're doing is like inspiring me, or it's changing me, or it's causing me to think or reflect, or it's making me seek out my value for the first time in my whole life in Jesus. And to me, there's nothing more amazing than that. So that's a big life change happening in the Hannigans right now. But it's just cool. I mean, it's just so cool what can come from this, and we're so excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited for you guys, and it's just an awesome opportunity for you guys. Also, like you guys being humble enough to not say, oh, like, we'll just pay for it, we'll be good, and saying, we're gonna fundraise. It allows people to be part of this story as well and feel more connected, and say, not that it's like about fulfillment of like, I can help and I feel fulfilled, but like, I can be part of changing this kid's life forever. And I know that I'm super excited for that opportunity to not only be in the kid's life, but also to help fundraise and give my finances to help you guys get this little baby. And super excited for you guys and everything that's changing in your life. I know that it can be stressful. It can be a tough time. It brings a lot of things into the light, and it brings a lot of things out that can be stressful. But you guys being willing to do this is amazing. I know God is going to work in amazing ways through it.
Yeah.
Not only to change this little boy's life, like it's just exciting to say that.
I
like,
know, right?
Not to
My
change
son.
your son's life.
My son. I can't.
But
I can't.
to change so many lives.
He's
and
going to.
what
I mean, I
God's
just
gonna do
feel
through it.
like confidently. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you're like a little football player now." Like, no, I feel like I'm gonna have like a little pastor on my hands, yo. Like, I feel like
If I'm
this
raising him,
man,
he gonna play football.
right? I feel like this little man is like coming in, and he just doesn't even, but he doesn't even know what's coming for him. Like, he just doesn't even know. It's so exciting. It's matched with the same amount of just like heaviness, because it's heavy but it's good, and like if that's not the gospel lived out, I really don't know. If just it's so good, but it's so heavy, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited for you guys to see it.
Excited for it for sure. And
Anything else? What's going on? Anything else in your life besides like you resting and like kind of taking time to like reflect and heal and grow?
not really, not too much. Just trying to really decide like what is the next. I don't want to live too far in the future, but just kind of dream and envision some things moving forward, and some secrets that maybe one day I'll get to share and talk a little bit more about. But awesome things going on, and really just I cannot wait to go golfing again. That's the biggest thing.
Oh, you gonna take little man golfing with you and Jack?
Yeah, me and Jack take the little guy golfing. I hope you know that I'm trying to coach this kid's sports teams.
That's fun. You and Jack, oh Lord, I can just see you and Jack being like coaches.
If I hurry up
together.
and get married, I can have a baby and they can grow up together.
I think that's the smartest thing that you could do, honestly.
Who knows?
And that's the tea. You guys,
Love you guys.
thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for showing up every time. We are trying, and hopefully by this point we'll be able to give you guys an update, or it'll already have happened. We're trying to turn this into a podcast, so it's not just videos. So
It will be a podcast by the time this episode launches. So
we
check
got
it
a
out.
podcast. We got a podcast now, so if you can't sit down and watch our video like every time, come hang out and listen to our voices.
Love you guys.
All right.
Talk to you next week.
Bye, guys.